98% nitrogen in 2% methane, and the seas and lakes are liquid ethane and methane. Even though its northern hemisphere is home to small liquid lakes, it's not really liquid at all. With these extremely cold temperatures, ethane and methane behave much like liquid water. However, Titan does have some warmth, and may have what's called a home-baked atmosphere. What we mean by this is that organic molecules are likely cooked by the moon's warm core, and the decay of radioactive elements may warm the moon from within. With all this in mind, is it possible that Titan could harbor some form of exotic life forms? That might sound a little bit far-fetched, but scientists believe that Titan's atmosphere could be the perfect laboratory for studying the organic chemistry that preceded life, which provided the building blocks for life on Earth. Deposits of organic material have been found in some parts of Titan, showing proof that this giant moon could host biologically interesting compounds, such as amino acids, which are the building blocks for all living things. Some scientists have regarded Titan as a deranged version of the Earth, and at the same time say it resembles an infant Earth in many ways before life evolved and irrevocably changed our planet. Titan's ocean sits below a thick ice layer and is believed to have favorable conditions for life, even though we're talking about life that exists in extremely harsh conditions. We already know of some life forms right here on Earth that can survive even in the vacuum of space, such as tardigrades, that can also survive -328 degrees Fahrenheit and temperatures as high as 300 degrees Fahrenheit. They can survive radiation, boiling liquids, and massive amounts of pressure, of up to 6 times the pressure of the deepest part of the ocean, without any protection. If this creature can exist in all these harsh conditions, there's no telling what kind of life could exist on Titan with its extreme environment. Some astrobiologists say that because there is a lack of liquid water on Titan's surface, there probably isn't any life there. But could life exist in Titan's methane seas? If life does indeed exist on the surface of Titan, scientists have agreed that it would be microbial, either very small in size or even single-celled organisms. But NASA thinks there's enough evidence for life and is planning to land a flying robot on the surface of the moon. We've already been to Titan before, with the Cassini mission that almost everyone is familiar with. What most people don't know is that on January the 14th, 2005, Cassini jettisoned a small probe called Huygens, which made a spectacular film of its 2.5-hour descent into the surface. Huygens landed surrounded by round blocks of ice and saw dry shorelines, reminiscent of Earth, and many rivers of methane. The new mission is called Dragonfly and will be the first endeavor of its kind. It's a car-sized quadcopter that is equipped with instruments capable of identifying large organic molecules. The Dragonfly is supposed to launch in 2026 and arrive at Titan in the year 2034. When the craft arrives, it will land near Titan's equator among dunes composed of solid hydrocarbon snowflakes. It'll be powered by heat from radioactive plutonium, much like NASA's Mars rover. But with its 8 rotors, it's going to be able to cover much more distance than any wheeled robot ever has. The Dragonfly drone will have to maneuver on its own, as light signals from Earth take 43 minutes to reach Titan, which makes the Dragonfly much more complicated to operate than a standard drone. The drone will use a specially designed navigation system that will help it to identify hazards and avoid them, and also be able to land autonomously. The AI that will be used on Dragonfly will be state-of-the-art. While in flight, the craft will sample the atmosphere and provide aerial images of the landscape. It'll then fly to multiple locations hundreds of miles apart, collecting data. But the ultimate destination is Selk Crater, which is the site of an ancient meteor impact, where scientists say they found evidence of liquid water, organic molecules, and the energy that could fuel chemical reactions. This will be the 4th mission to be funded as part of NASA's New Frontiers program, which supports medium-sized planetary science projects that cost less than $1 billion. And Dragonfly will cost around $850 million at the time of launch. As for the future of Titan, it could become warmer in 5 billion years from now when the sun becomes a red giant and starts the helium burning process. As our star expands, the outer layers will swallow Mercury, Venus, and eventually the Earth. But this changing sun may provide hope to other planets or moons, such as Titan. Surface temperatures on Titan could rise to -94 degrees Fahrenheit, high enough for stable oceans of water-ammonia mixtures to exist on its surface. As the sun's ultraviolet output decreases, the haze in Titan's upper atmosphere will be depleted, lessening the anti-greenhouse effect on its surface and enabling the greenhouse effect created by atmospheric methane to play a far greater role. These conditions together could create an environment agreeable to exotic forms of life and will persist for several 100 million years. This was a sufficient time frame for simple life to evolve on Earth. In early 2020, NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, TESS, discovered an Earth-like planet named TOI 700d in its star's habitable zone, and is only one of the few that exist where conditions may be just right to allow the presence of liquid water on the surface. However, until more measurements are made, the exact conditions of this planet are unknown. This is where the James Webb Space Telescope will come into play. This telescope is supposed to launch on March the 30th, 2021, and will provide improved infrared resolution and sensitivity that's far greater than the Hubble telescope. At a cost of $10 billion, it's one of the most advanced telescopes ever built. Its expensive mirrors covered in pure gold. The James Webb Space Telescope will be able to image even the most distant events and objects in the universe, such as the formation of the first galaxies, and it's believed that there will come a day where NASA will find a planet just like ours, flourishing with life. But do you think we'll find life out there? Or do you think we're alone in the universe? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date on all kinds of incredible things in our world and universe. Thanks for watching. Earth is a pretty special and unique planet. So far, we haven't found anything like it in the entire universe, but that doesn't mean a super-Earth doesn't exist. In fact, they exist, and the chances are good for finding planets even better for life than our Earth. Now the hunt is on to find liquid water, because where there is water, there might be life. A new telescope is set to launch on October the 31st, 2021. It's packed with some amazing technology that might finally answer the big question, is there another Earth, or even a planet better than Earth, just waiting to be discovered? The human race is about to find out. Earth is the only planet we know of so far to have large bodies of liquid water on its surface, covering more than 70% of the planet. Other inner planets like Mars could have been wet early and evolved life before it